Hello and welcome to another Sacred Roman Chicken episode of We Only Look Thin.
Another one.
Catherine Weigel. I am one of your hosts. I'm a Tiny Habit certified coach, a Thrive Global certified coach.
Yeah.
I have lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for over 6 years. And with me today is
Donald Weigel, the Roman chicken of something. I don't know. Another Roman chicken episode. How many of those are we going to do?
Oh, boy.
I'm one of the hosts of this show. I've lost about 100 pounds, kept it off for over 6 years, and I am here to talk about it.
Are you interested in finding out about these sacred Roman chickens?
I'm interested in nothing else right now.
Basically. Well, let's just say for sacred Roman chickens, you know what they did?
No.
The Romans, the greatest, ostensibly the greatest empire, right?
Maybe.
You know why
they
fell apart?
I mean, the Brits might have a word.
Well,
want to have a word, but
before that, they were like, oh, they're so great, but they used sacred chickens to make choices about stuff. They would throw stuff. I'm not kidding. This is on the internet.
No,
it's a real
I
thing.
believe you. I just think that it's funny.
Well, okay, so maybe chickens had greater powers back in the day.
They had an empire for 1,000 years or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you see any connections here? So they would throw stuff on the ground. I don't know if it was rocks or birdseed or whatever. And then depending on what the chicken went to first, that's how they would decide who their emperor was and who got to play the violin and should they grow hemlock. All of that, all of their big choices in life were based on magical chickens.
A violin-playing chicken would probably make a really good emperor, actually.
Yeah, it probably would. But okay, but as you're hearing this, what are you thinking? You're that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Right? So it is very easy to look at centuries past and point a finger toward Rome and go, ha ha ha, magical chickens. See how that worked for you. But
wait, now we're laughing at the magical chickens?
Well, they've since passed, I think. But maybe we can invoke their spirit today on this very episode of We Only Look Thin.
We're going to invoke the spirit of magical ghost chickens.
Magical ghost chickens.
Okay.
Well, but you know what? We laugh at that, but we still invoke the magic.
Yeah, we sure do.
When we are making food choices. And though we can laugh at the Romans because really it's been so long they can't come and say anything bad about us. Isn't there a limit on I know there's you have to wait 100 years to be able to use Mickey Mouse's likeness or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think 1,000, 2,000-year-old Romans can come back and sue us for slander. Or is it libel? Slander.
Yeah. I can't remember which one's
libel is
which
the written
right now.
one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So they can't sue us. So too bad for you, Romans.
Yeah, so if you are insulted by us invoking magical chickens,
then go to another podcast.
it's tough on you.
Yeah, but you'll get your money back. So yeah, you can do that. Sorry, okay, magical chickens. We laugh at them.
Yeah.
We point fingers.
Yeah.
But through the centuries, people of Earth have used magic to either blame others or to guide choices.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody, but we still in 2024 aren't having 13th floors in buildings.
Yeah. No.
There's no 13th apartment in our building.
Yep.
It's 2020. Can we just agree that it's not actually a thing and have 13
but what
things?
if though? What if?
What if?
I'm just saying, what if? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Okay, so from magical chickens to Ouija boards.
Yeah.
To what are those things the water sticks or whatever? You point a stick and it shows you where water is.
Yeah, divination rod.
Divination rods.
Yeah.
Or metal detectors, things like that. All of these magical
Metal detectors.
detectors actually detect metal.
They're science. Yeah,
I don't know. Okay, so but you believe they're going to make you rich, so maybe that's a little bit magical. But we can laugh and say ha 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 at all of these people.
I was thinking metal detectors at the airport.
Oh, no, like the metal detector. My grandfather used to
You're
have
out
it.
on the beach.
Yeah, my grandfather used to have one
for gold cougarans or something.
Exactly.
that someone dropped on the beach.
So we can laugh and at the folly of all of these magical things, but even with the Ouija board, there's like a little bit like I'm not using one. I'm just letting you know I'm not going to use one. I'm not going to say Beetlejuice's name 3 times.
Yeah.
Not going to do it. Bloody Mary, all that stuff. But we use these magical thoughts sometimes to make food choices, don't we, Donald?
Oh yeah, we sure do.
So imagine this, Donald. It is a dark, stormy night.
Oh,
you are sitting at a well-appointed table with candlelight.
Very spooky.
Spooky. It's very spooky. Just imagine not like romantic. It's spooky. Okay, and there's a cake in front of you.
Oh, less spooky. Less spooky.
Okay, so you're sitting at the dinner table, staring at the piece of cake, and instead of going like, "Do I have the budget for this cake?
Yeah.
Is this the right time for cake?"
Yeah.
You summon your spirit guide.
Ooh.
Dear spirits, should I indulge in this all-natural, homemade, wholesome slice of chocolate cake?
Well, it's all natural.
And in the planchette, okay, there's a Ouija board in your brain, right? And there's a planchette. Do I make a yes or a no choice here?
Right.
And the planchette, you're not controlling it. The spirits are controlling it. The planchette guides you to yes, and you blame the supernatural.
Oh man,
for your dietary indiscretion. Not your lack of willpower.
No, it was demons. I was possessed. I was possessed. It was clearly an exorcist situation.
Right. So it is a loophole way of relinquishing control and saying a ghost made me eat the cake instead of owning up to the fact that it was your own craving. J'accuse.
Why do you have to blame me? It's like a Scooby-Doo episode where like I rip my Donald mask off and it's just me underneath the Donald mask. I was the villain all along.
Well, and it's almost like on the Haunted Mansion ride, how they have the like floating head of Madame Leota in his crystal ball.
Right.
I feel like instead of the crystal ball, it's just like a cake plate. With like the cake dome is like, oh, magical cake plate.
Oh, a Madame Leota cake would be really cool. Like under a cake dome? That would be great.
So it's easy like when you're by yourself to use like the supernatural to decide your choices.
Yeah, sorry. Can I just quickly digress and say that planchette is such a wonderfully, delightfully like sophisticated sounding word for just a simple like arrow-shaped piece of plastic.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Anyhow, so you might find yourself in a group making group choices in air quotes, in which you get, and you get to hide behind these group choices. Like, we're getting this for the table.
The table.
Let's order a bunch of apps for the table. The table asked for this? Did the table really want to eat them?
We abide the table.
And you're ordering appetizers and cocktails and dessert. Then if everyone makes the decision, then no one is making the decision. And we are all victims.
The table demanded it.
The fate.
The table demanded it.
It's like you're out with friends for dinner and the waiter asks, do you want to see the dessert menu? And then suddenly all eyes dart side to side. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to be the one that takes the heat for actually saying yes? And then suddenly, out of nowhere, as if it was a ghost, yes comes out and whispers on the wind, and the dessert menu appears.
Oh, it's like all of your hands are on the planchette, but I'm not moving it. Oh, wait, who's holding the dessert menu? Oh, it just magically is there.
No one made the decision. It was the will of the spirits. You're just obeying the commands of the spirit world. The carrot cake was beyond your control.
But we really do feel like that. It's just sort of like you were saying with the groupthink. We want to fit in with the crowd by going with what the group wants.
Yeah.
But most of the time, everyone in the group just wants permission to hide behind everyone else making the food choices.
Yeah, and you know, not to get off on a thing, but you and I used to do this all the time, where we would be ordering food. Do you want to order Chinese?
I don't know.
I don't know. Should I order? Well, you know, I don't know which one of these I want. So should we just maybe get like 3 entrees, and then we can like have, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a shame if we didn't like what we were getting.
We can each have like our own, and then we can share like a second one, so that we get a taste of everything. Like, what do you think? Yeah,
we did that 3 times a week, at least 4 times a week.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was bad.
So the presence of others, I mean, and again, at the very beginning, I have been very good at making deceptive food choices from a very young age. Secret eating was my first superpower. But when we're around others, our decision making gets clouded by this kind of group, you know, like go with the flow. I'm going with the flow, Donald.
Yeah.
It's not a loophole. I'm just going with the flow.
And it's sort of that magical thinking that you were talking about, where you're absolving yourself of responsibility by thinking that, oh, well, the group wanted it.
Yeah. Well, and it's but it can go the other way too. Like if other people are making beneficial choices, then we're more likely to go with that. But a lot of times we want to hang out with people who also want to make poor choices.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, we know if we're going to go see these friends that we're going to just like, you know, go drinking all day, or, you know, we know that they love nachos. So like that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of an excuse. So when we hide behind others, or hide behind the sort of, you know, not taking responsibility, we say yes to appetizers, yes to cocktails, yes to desserts, yes to seconds. But all of these yeses lead to weight gain and disappointment. And then we blame the fates for deciding our fate. What was I supposed to do? It was everybody else. I'm just a victim.
Exactly.
I don't want to be like this.
And, you know, and this sort of Ouija board magic violin playing chicken decision making method might leave you feeling less guilty in the moment, but when the scale shows you a number that you weren't looking for, you realize that maybe ghosts aren't the best nutritionists.
They are not in it.
Perhaps they don't have your health in mind when they're telling you to eat all these things. So the next time you're about to make a food choice, remember that blaming the paranormal for your love of pizza and ice cream is like trying to diet on a meal plan crafted by Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Not so friendly, Casper.
It's spooky, sure. Sure. So for October, you know, a meal plan crafted by Casper might like fit the season, but it's probably not the most effective strategy for weight loss. But here are some solutions.
What? You mean we can avoid and eschew the supernatural and make our own decisions?
That's right. We are avoiding eschewing, and we are going to give you some actual actionable help in avoiding ghost dinners.
Okay, so number 1, here is the first one. And this is tough, people. We're going in with a big one. Take responsibility for your choices. Like, literally, and this is something that I've struggled with recently, like, no joke. No one is coming to save us from ourselves.
Yeah.
No one is going to knock food out of our hands, make choices for us. No one is going to care about our health more than we are. And if we keep waiting for someone else to like the 3 ghosts to visit, to like knock it out of our systems, to get it out of our system, we are going to be terribly disappointed. Knowing that it is our responsibility to make changes is the first step. And it's not going to be easy. Just because it is within our control doesn't mean it's not going to take some effort.
Plus, if you say to yourself, it was ghosts that made me make this poor decision in the first place, more ghosts is not going to make the decision better.
So you're saying none more ghosts?
Yeah, none more ghosts.
None more ghosts.
Let's not do that.
Okay. So in the second one, and we've talked about this before from the book, What to Say to Yourself, or whatever it's called by Shad Homesteader. What to say when you talk? No. Okay. You'll know the name of the book. It's fine.
I'll link to it in the show notes.
What to say when you talk to yourself.
Yeah, what you should say when you talk to yourself. Yeah, something like that.
So acknowledge that you're invoking magical thinking to avoid responsibility. Like once you actually say to yourself, this is not helpful. There are no magical ghosts. There's no Ouija board. There's no metal detector. Like none of this is true. There is either food that is working toward my goals, against my goals, or maybe neutral. Oh, look, it's cucumbers, everybody. Like no one's going to a cucumber party on a sliced delicious cucumber party, unless ranch dressing is also invited to the party. But acknowledge that invoking magical thinking is just that. It's just magical.
Did you hear about this cucumber salad trend that was going around? There was like somebody made this like cucumber salad where you slice them with a mandolin and then you put them in like a plastic container with the dressing and shake it up, and it was like all the rage. It also led to this real increase in mandolin accidents.
Oh,
people buying mandolins and not really
a mandolin
using them safely.
is a delightful instrument, but it is also a dangerous weapon.
I think is basic. Oh, I cut myself pretty badly on one.
Yeah, we got rid of ours because
medieval torture device.
It's
basically
kind of like a Ouija board. It's got the little shaver thing, and then it's got the whatever. So yeah, we got that out of the house faster than we got out the Ouija board.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so sometimes it is hard to change ourselves. So the next suggestion is to pay attention when other people are invoking magical thinking.
Yeah.
Like, and this is a very good thing that I am just telling you to do. So pay attention on TV, with friends.
Yeah.
With kids are great at that magical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, well, whatever. Okay. And also predatory advertising for weight loss things definitely prey on that sort of magical, it's going to happen, doctors don't want you to know, blah, blah, blah. So pay attention when you see it out in the real world. And it's very easy to look at other people and their magical divination chickens and be like, ha, you've got a magical divination chicken. But right. Like, when you're, doing the like group, like, dessert tray, like whatever, like you're also doing it. So pay attention to it out in the world and then maybe point a finger back at yourself. And then this is a really big one, and we've talked about it a lot, is practice listening to your thoughts. Thoughts like, it was for the group, all these loopholes. It was for the group. I didn't want it, but everyone else did. What was I supposed to do? You only live once unless you're a ghost.
Oh my goodness.
Or the ghost of my great-grandmother who loved jalapeno poppers made me do it. Watch out for when you're invoking ancestors for like, oh, well, it's homage, it's paying an honor. No, like all of that they're all just basically loopholes against what is in our best interest.
In fairness to my great-grandmother, jalapeno poppers are pretty tasty. I mean, I'm not suggesting
it's from the home country.
That's right.
Home country buffet. Sorry.
The home country of New Jersey. And also, something else to think about is that Ouija boards are made by Hasbro.
Yeah.
Hasbro also makes Transformers toys, and you're not going to make your decisions by allowing Optimus Prime to tell you how to eat. Sorry, that was just an aside that came to me. Another thing to do is ask, what are these thoughts getting me in the moment of pleasure? Like what are they really going to do for you in the long run?
Well, and I think that really we do things impulsively because, like, in the moment, yeah, sure, just do it. Our tomorrow selves will worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just get it out of your system now. Exactly.
And then ask yourself, what are these thoughts costing me? And those are things like you have no self-trust. They cost you weight gain. They cost you regret. And weigh and measure what they're getting you, that pleasure in the moment versus how you're going to feel about it later on and the health consequences that you're going to have later on. Huge. Set shared goals. Actually, and this is hard, and I understand it's hard, and a lot of people will push back on this when you talk to them, but it is important, you're an adult. It is important for you to set your own boundaries and discuss your health and nutrition goals with your friends and family. And by having a common objective, you can motivate other people to make decisions that align with your goals.
Well, and I think really a lot of times we get in this loop of just like, we're going out for appetizers and drinks again. Now I feel terrible, waking up with a hangover. Like, I got to stop this.
Yeah.
But when we're afraid to talk to the people that we're in collusion with for these habits, like actually just going like, I mean, like, you guys, we can't do this. We can't do this every night. Can we maybe, like, instead of 2 nights a week, can we maybe one night do drinks and another night do something healthier? Like, we can't keep going in these patterns, especially the older that I get, the more negative, like unhelpful food and drink, it really has a negative effect on me. I can't sleep, wake up groggy. Like, it's not cool, man.
It indeed is not, man.
But what is cool are setting standards and policies about your own food choices. I know talking to others can be stressful, but we've talked about it before. We did an episode called Only Burgers in the Building.
We sure did.
And we also did one called I'm a Carby Girl, where we talked about being able to keep foods that you like in your plan in a mindful way. And one of those ways is setting standards and policies. So knowing in advance, hey, if I have an appetizer, I am not going to have a dessert. That's just who I am. Like, I don't need both.
Yeah.
Pick one and move on. If I have a cocktail, then I'm not going to have appetizers. Maybe it's no sweets on work nights. For me, I have a policy of no alcohol on weeknights. I just I don't need it every night.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I'm going to have cake, but only on birthdays or only when I'm out of the house. I'm not going to just make one on a Friday night at home. I made one with our daughter once because she wanted cake.
Yeah.
Added up the calories. It was 12,000 calories.
Because she wanted cake.
Because she wanted cake. And we got to make the full, double layer with all the frosting. When I counted up the calories and realized that I was going to eat 90% of it, I cut it up and I gave it to our neighbor because I knew that there was no way that I was going to be able to.
And our neighbor now has type 2 diabetes.
He's got the bad sugar.
But sorry,
he's got the sugar.
You do need, just as a quick side note, you do need to be careful a policy only cake on birthdays and then telling yourself, well, it's somebody's birthday today, everybody's born today, or that Seinfeld episode where Elaine's having cake every day at work because it's always someone's birthday. Another thing to do is to stay active together.
Yep.
Instead of planning activities with your friends and family that are around food, try incorporating physical activities into your routine so that they can complement your healthy efforts. You can go for walks, you go for bike rides, you could, do a dance class, you could play some sort of sport together, pickleball is very popular right now, or tennis or something. Figure out something that you all might want to do, even if it's just going to a park and throwing a frisbee around or something. It's better than having the activity focus entirely on food.
Right. And even if it, like I said before, even if it's, hey, we're going to watch football on Sundays and have beer and wings.
Wings
and my great grandmother's favorite jalapeno poppers.
Oh yeah.
But on Saturdays, that's the day that we go walk down by the beach, or we go to the botanical garden, or like you said, we play pickleball. Pickles are also very low calories.
Oh
Those
yeah.
are good choices.
Man, I enjoy pickles.
So being able to not say it's all or nothing, but pulling back on the frequency of the unhelpful habits is also very helpful.
Absolutely.
So as we're going through this, I know, jokes, witchy things, it's fine. when we invoke this magical thinking, and please know that it still happens, like, oh, well, if it's on sale, I'm going to get the whatever.
Right.
Well, if it's not whatever, then I'm going to get whatever. When we are reactive based on these signals that we actually look for, we look for reasons to overeat that don't make us responsible for our actions. And the more we are a victim of our choices, of our surroundings, of the friends that we have, of our circumstances, like the more of a victim we're going to be on the scale. And we did this for decades.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault. It was for the group. I didn't want to rock the boat. Well, it was somebody else's choice. The more we act like background characters in our own lives, like the less progress we are going to make. And it takes effort to stand up for ourselves. It takes effort to stand up and take responsibility for the choices that we're making. I am eating this because I don't want to deal with my feelings. I am eating this because I don't want to take responsibility. Even just being more honest matters. Acknowledge that you're invoking magical thinking.
Yeah.
Pay attention to when others are invoking it, and practice listening to your thoughts. Look at those loopholes. Always, never, well, it's just this once, all of that stuff. Pay attention.
For me, realizing and acknowledging that I was lying to myself and doing these things was really a huge step. It's much harder for me to go through with it when I realize what I'm doing to myself, the kinds of things that I'm saying to myself.
Exactly. So set some policies and standards around the choices that you're making. Stay active with others. Share goals together. And then again, and I think that these, they're sort of nested in the middle, like a jalapeno center popper. The big, two takeaways, I think, from any choice that we're making, whether it is the Halloween season or any other season, which Halloween is basically starts in July now.
Yeah.
With all the stuff. So it's
they
been a
started
while.
Putting stuff out a while ago.
Okay. So the two big questions again are, what are these actions getting me? What am I getting out of these impulsive and unhelpful food choices? And then the other is, what is it costing me? It is costing me my long-term health goals. And the more we can advocate for ourselves, pull away from our magical thinking, pull away from hiding behind what we assume are the choices of others, the better our lives will be. And it was really difficult back in 2016 when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired to finally pull away and stand up for myself and say, I need to do this for myself. I can't wait for anyone else to save me. I'm not a puppet on a string. No one else is going to do this for me. I need to advocate for myself. And when I took that power back for myself, that is where real change happened. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a cursed monkey paw. It was me saying that I wanted to make a change in my life for the better. And I know that if we can do it, you can do it too.
Absolutely. That is 100% true. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the show. We are grateful for each and every one of you. The fact that you've chosen to spend some of your valuable time listening to us really does mean a lot to us. If you would like to listen to more episodes of this show, the most recent 300 episodes are available on all of the major podcast platforms, and you can listen to every single episode all the way back to the beginning on YouTube and on our website at any time at weonlylookthin.com.
Yep, and if you are at weonlylookthin.com, click on that link for Join Our Support Group to find out more about Wolt Place. Wolt Place, We Only Look Thin Place, not spooky at all.
Super spooky.
Not spooky at all.
No, you got to sell
haunted.
it. You got to sell it.
Not
It's
haunted.
Definitely haunted.
Wolt Place is a Facebook-based accountability group for women. We are not a weight loss plan. Come with your weight loss plan. If you're counting calories, if you're doing macros, if you're doing Weight Watchers, come on board. But the mindset part is universal. It is not plan specific. So come for accountability and support. We do weekly Zoom meetings. There's lots of accountability and support, and super proud of everyone in the group. We have 2 subscription options, a monthly subscription with a 3-day complimentary trial and a 3-month subscription with a 7-day complimentary trial to see if Wolt Place is right for you.
See, you just said it wasn't spooky, and then you said it in a spooky voice. It's very spooky.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's October. What am I going to do?
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
You know what? I did it on purpose.
And also, if you would like to interact with us in other ways, you can find us on social media, which is very spooky. What's more spooky than that? You can find us at We Only Look Thin on Facebook and Instagram. You can also email us if you would like. If you would like some real spooky interaction back and forth, you can email us to weonlylookthin@gmail.com. We would appreciate episode suggestions if there's something you'd like to hear more about. If you have some suggestions to add to how you can get over your magical thinking, we would appreciate that as well. Or if you just want to reach out and tell us that we're super cool, that is appreciated as well, to weonlylookthin@gmail.com.
Yep, and if you have a couple of extra minutes, please head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a rating and a review. Not only does it let us know that what we're doing after all of these spooky years is still making a difference to you, but it also helps the algorithms place us and help other people find us. So head over there. It's not spooky at all. Just go over there. Press 5 stars.
It's not spooky at all. Just go over there. Also, if you would
which is what every single person has said about a haunted house.
It's our
just go over there.
Yeah, just go over there. It's not spooky at all. Also, if you would just tell somebody about the show, that really helps it grow. Word of mouth really is one of the best ways in which the show grows. So if you would like to help us out and tell somebody about it, we would be grateful. If you are in a conversation, if you are on the internet, a Discord server, a Facebook group, a Reddit group, and it makes sense to give us a shout out, we really would appreciate it.
Yep.
So if you are Googling magical weight loss chickens in your area for sale, please instead try and remember that Catherine and I are an inspiration. The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.